But those same endings we see then on page 146, you see those same endings now placed on three different categories of roots. And for our purposes, we only concentrate on the left column, the shamar, on page 146. That's the strong verb. That's the way that you mainly see the cow perfect vocalization, the way it's written there. And so on the first part of the exam, will be called to reproduce the paradigm. We'll talk more about it, but you have to reproduce the paradigm of the perfect conjugation. So again, as I recommended that you set up some way to begin to memorize that, I would recommend maybe short amount of time, with the days we have left, and looking over and trying to reproduce that paradigm. And so on the test part one, on the left side you'll have the singular form. Start with third masculine singular, like he does here, and then a right column with the plurals, and you're going to write the correct form next to it. So the right column on the exam is equivalent to the second half of the chart, the list on 146. In other words, start with third common plural, the plurals. So that's what you have on the chart on 146. The singulars on the top and the plurals on the bottom. And so that on the test you'll have different columns. You'll have exact what it looks like here, 3 ms down to 1 cs on the far left. And then in the middle of the page, the third common plural and the plurals. And you're going to give the appropriate reproduction of the paradigm. And so very briefly now, for those of you who may not be here, been here, we talked about the shamar. Again, the vocalization is the comet's patok. This is the simplest way the verb appears. So this technically would be 3 ms. So again, on the test, you have 3 ms. You say that on your exam, and then you would write shamar. Or when you use kakal, a different root, that's fine. These are examples of strong verbs, or sometimes called regular verbs, meaning no weak letters. So as we said here, this vocalization, comet's patok, accounts for 5 of the 9 forms. 5 of the 9 have comet's patok. And then like 3fs has it's like we've seen in nouns, 3fs has a comet's hey, or feminine form. In nouns, that indicates a feminine. So also the verb, that indicates a feminine. So this is a vocalic ending, and so what happened was we had a reduction of the patok, becomes a shavah in this case. So again, 5 of the 9 are like this. All you do is add the appropriate ending on. We have a vowel ending, which is FS and third common plural. You have a shuric ending. That gives you the same vocalization. They guarded. You have the sha, ma, ru. So sometimes, very often, you have this metag here, as we mentioned yesterday, next to the comments, to ensure you remember this is a long A. Because it could be, when you see this form, with the shavah following it, you think this may be a short O. As you have like in the name of Chokmah. That would be the short O in this case, that case. Chokmah, comments Katuf. But here, this is supposed to be the long A, followed by patok. So you often have the metag here to ensure that you won't confuse this. This is long. The metag indicates like a pause. So anyway, you have, that's with the vocalic ending. So that's this 5 have this. We have the 2 that have that ending, the vocalic ending, and thus patok becomes shavah. And then we have 2 more. So that's 5, 6, 7. And then we have what's maybe called the heavy suffixes, consonant, vowel, consonant. And again, we constantly referred back to the handout, the tim ending, we have that also the pronoun, atim, you, masculine plural, atim, atim. Now we have tim here. This is second masculine plural, you, and so the ending here also second masculine plural. Now, so the vocalization here for shamar tim or shamar tin, that's the you feminine, second feminine plural. The tin, either one of these tim or tin. Here, what happens is you don't have the patok, comets patok. You have the shavah. The comets becoming shavah. So there's three patterns. 5 have this vowel vocalization pattern. If they have a vowel ending, this patok becomes shavah. If your ending ends with a consonant vowel consonant, what's called a heavy suffix, the comets become shavah. So you only have one change in each case. So you start off this way. Comets, patok, that's the way all our verbs are listed in vocabulary. But that literally means he kept. And if you got katal, that would literally mean he killed. The comets, patok, this is the cow, perfect. So once again, as we said yesterday, there are 7 different stems. Cow is stem number 1. There's 7 stems, all have a perfect, and all have the exact same endings. The endings do not change. So, and as we said, we start with cow, but mainly it's supposed to be the easiest, and also even the name is supposed to be based on the root meaning light. Kalal, light. And so that the cow means the light or easy stem. That's number 1 because of the, in some other stems we have to add a prefix in addition to the suffix or some other modification. But also, as we said, that about 71% of all the verbs in the Bible are cow. A little over 70% are cow. So that's another reason to start with that. By far the most frequent. Okay, that's kind of what I went over yesterday. Any question on that, maybe especially those of you that have not been here? Any question on that? So you reproduce that, part 1.
When you say reproduce, you mean like translate it or identify it?
You don't just rewrite it.
Okay.
So you'll be given like this. You'll be given like 3, the chart will go with 3 MS, 3 FS, 2 FS, just like the book. 2 MS.
So we'll have the root word and then we write it out.
Yeah, you choose your root word.
Okay.
He has this, shamar. You could use a different one.
Okay.
Other books like use katal. You could use either one. These are strong verbs.
I see.
So you just, next to 3 MS, you write that.
Okay.
And then you write the 3 FS form. Next to that, shamar, you see. Shah, Morah. This would be he kept. 3 FS, she kept.
So we'll just do that with different vocabulary words that you have on the test.
No, he's saying
No.
you'll use that one word and reproduce that whole entire chart.
Yeah,
That's
it's
it.
one of these 2 words. Yeah, not every, some roots are irregular, so there will be modification some way, for example.
Okay.
So, like we have a verb that ends with a hey, that's a week later, it may drop off. You said, we did that in the 2nd semester, we're talking more about the irregular forms. But this is the regular verb, strong verb, everything. You have to learn to understand the irregular verbs. You gotta know the regular pattern first, see where it deviates. It deviates according to rules we've already learned. We've seen how things change. Even here, we're adding on, like with shamar tim. It's like propotonic reduction. And you're lengthening the word, and so you rush over first syllable. That's kind of the same with nouns. We added on the suffix. So it's really kind of going according to rules, and according to pronunciation. So you kind of rush over that first syllable, and that's why what should be the comments. As again, in 5 out of 9, about this vowel pattern, So we said 5 out of 9, so if you had I guarded, the first common singular, the ending, as you see on the previous page, was T. So you have, it's still the same vocalization. Shamar, but you add on the first common singular, meaning I guarded. You see, so that'd be in down here, 1 CS. You have that. But we're saying this is part of the 9 occurrences. It has the comets patok pattern. It's based upon, again, shamar, like that. All right, everyone follow that?
So we're gonna be giving you back the left column in that group.
Yes, exactly. You want to give back the left column in 2 columns because it's, on the test.
Right,
It is the left column.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So you get
The first
the 3
top,
MS and then you use some more as the only word.
yeah, use shamar. That'd be the
So we
same.
don't
That's what
use
he did.
we don't do the to be heavy and.
No, don't worry about that. That's not near as common. Those are kind of like stative verbs. We're talking about regular verbs here. Those are a little more, not near as frequent.
And we're only doing the masculine, so 3 MS, 2 MS, and then 1 CS?
We have 2 FS too, 2 FS.
Yep.
Just like you have on that
You're doing the
page.
whole, we're doing the whole.
Okay,
If
so
you look
we're
at-
doing all of these, so you just said,
If you look at 146,
right, that's what, I see what you mean now.
Yeah.
3 of the masculine singer and feminine singer, not 3 total. Is that what you mean?
what you mean, 3, I'm not sure what you meant.
Well,
We're doing the complete column.
Yeah.
The complete column.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
No, that's cool, I got you.
Yeah, the complete column, right.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else on that? So that's, that's the first part of the test. And so that's kind of involves some memorization. But you're not gonna have to remember vocabulary for this. You use your glossary, because it'll consist of reproducing the strong verb and the cow perfect, that's what we're talking about. And then there'll be, I think, about 5 phrases to translate. And it does say you'll have to parse the verbal forms. So once again, when you do your part 1, produce the paradigm, that can aid in part 2. You know, if you get by getting the endings right, and you see now a phrase that may have this ending here, see? You have a phrase may end like this, and maybe, the word was, let's say, if we had the word I wrote, would have again, comets, patok, and then the T is the first common singular, I. So you would, you'd have to be able to parse it in one sense to be able to translate it. So this would be I wrote. If you had this on the test, you could put something like this above it, Cal 1 CS, something like that. So in other words, the first part is going to help flow into the second part. By looking at the top, the reproduction, you can pick that up. I mean, if you come across, if you look at your, if you didn't figure out what this was and you saw that ending, you're gonna know what it is. And then especially with this vocalization, then you can use your glossary, of course, to find the meaning.
So, will all of them be cow, because those are the.
Well, let's see, yeah, if it's a finite verb,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a cow, that's right.
So do we need to put Q, can we just put 1 CS or 2 MS? Do we need to put the Q in front of it?
I would prefer at this point, because we're gonna get beyond that, see, like next semester, At this point, you're right, that's all we've got.
But
But it's
just go
good.
ahead and get into
It's
the.
since that's gonna be, once we get into more than one, we're gonna have to distinguish.
Yeah,
So it's good to get,
good, get used to it.
from the very outset, keep in mind, you gotta tell the stem, the cow stem, there's 7 stems, so. I would prefer that you did that. It's not gonna kill you if you don't.
We're only identifying verbs, do we have to identify other?
No, that's all, just
Just
verbs,
okay.
yeah. Let's see, I think, I'll go ahead and tell you, that it's the only verb, I'll even say this. The only verbs are cow perfects. In other words, the only thing it could be at this point would be participle.
Yeah.
But we focused on more of that in previous tests, so. The second test. All right, any questions on that? And just to review again, for somebody who weren't here, what was, what you said was the main kind of translation value when you have a cow perfect?
So simple past.
Yeah, simple past. At this point, just think of simple past at this stage. And once again, the first verb in the Bible is a cow perfect. In the beginning, God created. It's bara. So in one sense, it's going to be a little different because it has an aleph at the end. But you hear the sound bara. That's a cow perfect 3 ms. Again, that's somewhat irregular. We'll get that next semester. But the point is, that's the first verb in the Bible. A cow perfect 3 ms. You have a question?
It's kind of confusing. So in French, we have two types of verbs to refer to the past tense. So one is the imperfect, which refers to like a state of affairs, and then you have.
I gotta stop you already. The imperfect is more usually translated present or future in Hebrew. In Hebrew.
Okay, but so, but it's like an ongoing state of affairs, or it went
Yeah.
on for a given
Okay.
duration or whatever.
Yeah.
But then we have something else called the passé composé, which is like a one-time completed action. So does Hebrew differentiate? Because, I mean, God created one time, presumably, right? So.
No, I don't think that you can make that distinction, as far as a one time necessarily. Context would indicate, you could argue the context supports that view. I don't think there's a grammatical category for a one time, because that'd be interpretive.
Okay, so Hebrew doesn't differentiate.
Well, you have, as I said, you have a past, I mean, you might even, something like this, from the context, we said this could be I wrote, and you might have, something like, I had written. You can also translate it, depending on the context. So, it really is, totally dependent upon that. That kind of is different notation. I had written means something happened prior to. So you do have a simple idea of a past, but it's interpretive. It's not to say this group. There's not a grammatical category besides the perfect to say a one-time event. It could be. It certainly could be, but it's not necessarily. When you see that verb, say, okay, this is a one-time event. It has to be supported by the context. Does that help? Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, it said, we even talked about that though with bara. Remember, we had that vocabulary, right? That it is the one analysis there was only God is subject to that. That's important in itself. Only God is the subject of that verb. There's no man can carry out a bara. Humans can't do that. All right. So, any questions though on the perfect verb, cow perfects?
Could you just run down, and I just wanna make sure that I would be translating this correctly, just, you can use shamar or whatever.
Okay, I see.
Just to,
Okay.
like what I think it would be.
All right. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay. Like
So just-
shamar would be
just
he
yeah.
kept.
So just do the whole thing,
Right.
just to make sure.
We do that real quick. Shamar, he kept, 3 ms. 3 fs would be shamara, she kept. Then 2 ms. Shamarta, you kept. You to a man, you kept. Then 2 fs, shamart. And that would be addressed like a female, you kept, singular, shamart, then shamarti, I kept. Then, is that too fast? Then third common plural, the shamaru, they kept. So you notice there's not technically a third feminine and masculine. Common plural, CP for common, that refers both male, female. Shamaru, they kept. Then shamartim, you kept, masculine plural. Like speaking to a group of, like this class, you kept, all males. Shamartim, you kept, or you all kept. Then shamartin, addressing females. You kept, females, and then shamarnu, we kept. This kind of occurred to me when I, on the second feminine plural, again, addressing you kept. I was driving my granddaughter to school, preschool she goes to this morning. We had to drive by the seminary, and I said, that's where Grandpa teaches. And she says, Grandma, you can't teach there. And I said, why? She said, only girls are teachers. That's all she's experienced. She's only had female teachers. Only girls are teachers. All right, so anyway, I'll try to prove that wrong today. All right, let's see. So again, we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on some of this information. Again, the takeaway, the key thing is about the translation. If you stay with the past at this point, that certainly is the way to, I think, start off learning the. He gives you some other examples here, but so just to let you know there could be other interpretations for the perfect, but by far the most common your first guess is a past tense. Okay, I do want to mention one thing though on top of 152. He has negation of the perfect. So this could be this could be on the test now. The negation, negating a perfect. It says by the particle lo. Lamed holem aleph. Lo means as a negation. Lo, like not with a perfect verb, negates the verb. So it also occurs in the creation account when God said about the Adam situation that it's lo tov for man to be alone. Not good. See, there's lo right there. Lo means negation. Not good. Lo tov for man to be alone. So here we see that it may negate the perfect verb. We also see it, for example, in Hosea, the names of the children given, lo ruchama, that means no compassion. And then another child it's called lo ami, not my people. So you see the lo being used there in names also. Anyway, it means not, negation. All right, so that's the main thing there. Again, we're not going to worry about the other parts. We might come back to it, but the main thing again is the perfect verb, reproducing that, and being able to use it as translation. So let's look at a few examples. That's what we'll do the rest of the time today. The rest of the time, we're going to look at what could be on the second half of the test. You know, the first part, reproduction of the perfect paradigm. And so he gives some examples now on page 155. So this is pretty significant now for the second half of the test. All right, so, and by the way, I mentioned as well, I failed to bring it this time, I just have to bring it for the test. You're able to use the handout that has the pronominal suffixes on it and the independent pronouns. No, you've already done it. You're able to use that, but you notice the left half has exactly what we're doing now. So that's would be good to have that in your range of vision there. So I'll have to Xerox again just the right half of that and bring that to the test. But other information you've written somewhere else about the pronominal suffixes, I mentioned you can write that somewhere else and bring that to the test.
So like the prepositional suffixes, we can use those?
Yeah.
Like last time.
Yeah, you write those out, or maybe on a separate sheet. But I'm gonna have to bring another copy of blanking out the left-hand side, because that's exactly what we're doing, you see, on the test. So would be good to have that in front of you. Okay, so anyway, let's take number 1 here, exercise 13. First it starts off with hene. Do you recall what hene was? The whole. Right.
Are we on part B? Sorry.
What's that?
Are we on part B?
Oh, sorry. Yes, part B.
Okay.
Hene would be, behold, if you recall. Assume that's in your glossary. If it's not there, you should write that in. Hene is behold. Anyone have his glossary with them?
No,
It's not in there.
but you, I think you told us to add it.
Okay, you should add that, you should add that, because you can't find that in the Hene, like look or behold, something like that, look, behold.
I think you told us to add it last time.
Okay, yeah, all right, so it should be added there. Hene, look, behold. King James translates behold. Okay, so you have Hene, then the next word is Yarad, Yaradah.
Verb, isn't it?
Yes. How'd you know that?
Because the comments, hey,
Okay, you see the comma's hey ending there, right? So you kind of have to block that, you know, the part out. If you block that out, you have then the yod, resh, dalet. But you know, notice the vocalization there. You have the comma's first vowel, then you have a shavah, which we said happens when you have a vowel ending. And then the comma's hey is the third feminine singular suffix. So, I mean, without that, we might say, behold, what? You said yarad meant, we had that, I believe,
to descend.
to go down or descend. Yarad, to go down, descend. And if we just had that alone, we might say, behold, she went down. Right? It's, commas hey is the third feminine singular. But that's all we had. But now our subject now is given the next word, aish. Aish,
Fire.
fire, right, fire. Even though it's, no ending there, it is feminine. How do we know that? Because the verb is feminine. It's a feminine word fire. So behold, Yahweh Aish. So far what?
Behold, fire came down.
Behold, fire came down. Is that right? Then you have men, which is what? From Hashamayim.
Heaven.
From the heavens, right, Shemayim is heavens. So that, I'm pretty sure all those are in the vocabulary. I'll go back and check again, make sure, you know, if I find on the test, some of the words are not in the vocabulary, you know, I'll mention that to you at the test. And so, but you do recall you do have access to independent pronouns and things like that. I think those helps you can use. So the entire phrase, behold, fire came down, has come down, would be appropriate, from the heavens. Okay. Let's see. So number two is, let's try that one. It always got an irregular verb in it. I think we'll work around that. So we have ki amartim. Amar means
Descend.
to say. And you notice the tim ending is what? Second masculine plural. So because or for, you, plural, have said. Remember past translation. This is the cow perfect again. As was number one, Yarada. You know, we're dealing with the cow perfects. Because you have said, Karatnu.
To cut.
Okay. Okay, and so, but look at the suffix. Karatnu.
Cut us.
No, not us, it'd be the subject. It'd be the subject, not the object.
Oh, you cut.
No, Karatnu.
We
right,
cut.
right, we
Sorry.
cut, yeah.
Yeah, we cut.
Okay, because you said, Karatnu, we cut, we have cut. So that'd be cow perfect What, then what? What'd you put there? Cal perfect? What else would be on parsing?
First common plural.
Right, first common plural. So again, you can, you know, refer back to what you did in part one, help parse. Maybe I'll, would you rather have, have it stapled together, maybe separate? Might be easier. Okay, on the second page, it'd be easier to, look at the first page by having it separate. Okay, for, you have said, or you said, we have cut the reed, the covenant,
So
a covenant, right, a covenant. Then et with
Death.
death, right, mavit, mavit is death. That definitely, I think all those words should be in the glossary, I would think. But again, I'll check again. All right, so, again, first parsing, I marked Tim. We say Cal, perfect. So you can put it like this, you want to, Cal, perfect. 2 MP, right? Second masculine plural, of the Tim ending. Cal, perfect, 2 MP, and then the karat new, Cal, perfect. What did we say? One common.
First common
Yeah,
plural.
first common. So use those abbreviations.
So use PF as well with that?
Yeah, be fine, PF be fine. All right,